Hello and welcome to another tutorial by QuickSite.com. In this tutorial we're going to go over how to back up a database. Now this is probably going to be the most important tutorial I've done and probably will ever do, and I really can't harp enough on backing up your database. It is the quickest, most inexpensive insurance policy you can have against disaster on your site. Believe it or not, there are tons of people in the world who literally have nothing better to do with their time other than to try and hack your site. These people are truly the icon of worthlessness, but nonetheless they'll make you pay for their activities, and you never want to get caught without a backup. Now, what a backup does for you is it takes a snapshot of the unique content of your database or of your website. So for example, these tutorials are geared around Joomla 1.5. Basically there's two sides of the fence. There are the files and there are the database. The files are common. You can go to joomla.org and get those. The only exception is if you've got custom graphics or pictures or extra folders that you've added, or extra media or content like media, like a video or any file such as a picture or something like that. You'll want to have a copy of that folder with those specific media items in it. Otherwise, when you create an article, when you create a contact, if a user signs up, the date that user signed up, the last time that user logged in, all these automated things, all these dynamic pieces of information are stored in your database. And so imagine that you had a site with 1,000 users. Okay, well that's 1,000 different unique pieces of information that if you were to lose your site, or someone were to hack into it, or some other disaster were to occur, there's really no way to go and replicate all the statistics, the user login dates, the usernames, the password. It would be a gigantic mess. I mean, you can see that easily. Otherwise, there is a way to take a snapshot of that information, and these are the steps that you're going to want to take after you've made some change, or even if you did this on a daily basis. Again, I can't harp on this enough, because like I said, you can suffer a total disaster, total system crash, but if you have a copy of your database, you can literally be back up and running in about 15 minutes. So basically, to copy or get a copy of your database, log into your cPanel, and you want to scroll down near the bottom under the database section, and you're going to see database or MySQL databases, the database wizard, remote, MySQL, but the one that you're going to be interested in is the PHP MyAdmin, and go ahead and click on that. Now, this may seem foreign to you and kind of complicated, and to be honest with you, if you've never dealt with it, it kind of is. But basically what this does is it's going to give a list of all the databases that you have under this hosting account, and as you can see, I've got quite a few here. And in this database, you can click the one that you're interested in. It's going to have and show you all the tables. Okay, so tables exist within databases, and then all the databases exist in that list that we saw on the prior screen. You have the option, of course, to back up any specific table you want. But we're not wanting to do that. We're wanting to back up the whole database. So you'll know you're dug into the database if you can see the list of tables that occupy it, and you're simply going to want to go to the top here and click the export button. Alright, and when you do this, you've got several options on how to export it. If you're not sure, just leave it alone. The default is good enough to get you going again. SQL, you want to make sure that's the case, and really all you're going to do is you're going to click that save file, put a check mark there, and click go. When you do that, this pop-up box is going to appear, and it's going to ask you to open the file or save the file, and you're simply going to save the file somewhere on your machine that you know about, and that is going to be a safe location. And then once you save it, you're done. And again, like I said, I cannot harp on it enough. So I would recommend you save it in several places. Not only would you save it in a folder on your desktop or your machine, but you would also want to save it in a folder on probably an external hard drive, just in case you suffered an issue with your local machine. Now, how to restore your site, that's a different tutorial. That's kind of outside the scope of this one, but the bottom line is, if you've got a copy of that database backup, really anybody that kind of knows what they're doing will be able to help you out. It's a pretty common task. I'll probably do another tutorial later on how to recover from a crash if you have, or from a database issue. But basically that's how you make a backup, and again, that is going to be your cheapest, most effective insurance policy against any disaster, whether it be a mistake you make, or if somebody hacks into your site, or someone that you've given your password to all of a sudden decides they hate you and then wants to just mess everything up. Even if you've got thousands of users, again, you can restore it all, but of course keep in mind, and quite obviously, you can only restore it back up, or restore it up to the last backup that you have. So again, I recommend people take a daily backup. Again, it might be a little bit of a chore for you, but it is nowhere near compared to the chore of having to replicate or recreate a large, complicated, and dynamic site. So that's kind of my harping on backing up databases. Again, you can be up within 15 minutes, and it can really help. It can really save your rear if you've been hacked into, or someone's been malicious. So take it to heart. Can't harp on it enough. This will save you. I've suffered crashes and been able to restore all my sites, like I've said, literally within 15 minutes, and saved myself, in some cases, my business, because had I not had those backups, I would have lost some critical information that would have just made the wheel not spin anymore. So take it to heart. Hope this tutorial helped. That concludes it. Thanks.